I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. We got disconnected, but we're back on track. So, as I was saying, this is why it's so important for you, if you have not developed your own personal vision and mission statement. It's so important because your time, the time that you spend, will embody your personal vision and mission statement. So make sure that even what you're considering, as I had said before, for those of you who have already started your goals and already have them in place and your action, as well as your action steps, please make sure that if you have not already, review and evaluate to make sure that they are connected with your personal vision and mission statement. So I wanted to share something with you real quick. So I just wanted you to understand why this is important. This step is very important, and it should be your first step before you do anything else. This should be your first step. So I wanted to share some things with you. This will determine how you'll spend your time. So I wanted to read something for you real quick, just some information for you to chew on. And I'm reading at page 103. Now, those of you who do not have this book, I highly recommend it for your library. This is such a go-to and a reference. It has valuable jewels that you can use even today, as I said, in 2021. It's not too old, but there are some jewels that ring true, and I believe that they would be beneficial for you. So let me read this to you. So here it says, here's what Stephen Covey says about your vision. He says, vision is the best manifestation of creative imagination and the primary motivation of human action. It's the ability to see beyond our present reality, to create, to invent what does not yet exist, to become what we not yet are. It gives us the capacity to live out of our imagination instead of our memory. So we have to know that it's not about our memory. We're wanting to ignite those witty, innovative, creative ideas that you might have never thought about as you tap into what your personal vision and mission is for you. So I wanted to see, just as a reflection, ask yourself these questions. I wanted you to ask yourself these questions, okay? What do you believe? If you haven't asked yourself this before, here's a great time to ask them. All right. Here's one of the primary questions. What do you believe is your purpose? Now, this is all aligning with you creating your personal vision and mission, so you'll know that your quality of your time that you're spending and what you're developing connects, that there's a deeper purpose. So it's not just a checklist. There's a deeper purpose to what you're wanting to do in your life. What do you have a passion for? These are things to consider as you are developing or reviewing your personal vision and mission statement. What makes life meaningful for you? That's so huge. If you have not thought about that, here is a great time to add this to your planning strategy for 2021. And we're going to talk about abandoning things a little later, but I highly recommend to you, if you are currently working on something and you're not seeing that it is meaningful or purposeful for you, here is the best time for you to look at that, reevaluate it, and see whether you need to abandon that or not. And when I say abandon it, it means, does this fit into your personal purpose and meaning that you have for your life? If you don't believe that it does, I would abandon it, close that out, and seek your purpose. How do I do that? How do I do that, Andrea? How am I going to be able to develop this personal vision and mission statement? Take time out. Take time out of your schedule. take time to sit quietly and really think about what is a passion for me? What would I do that would be meaningful for me, that would give life purpose, that I believe I would be accomplishing my purpose if I set this goal in place. So, as I said before, if you have more questions on how to create your personal vision and mission statement, please feel free to contact me. Please, and you can inbox me, message me, and I'll be more than happy to continue that conversation with you. So let's move on to the next element that's important as you are developing your goals and your strategies for 2021. So the next one, and if you notice, these are all connected together. So if you see that I'm talking about time and I'm talking about your personal vision statement, I'm talking about roles, all of these are connected together. So it's so important that we know that they're all interconnected together. I'm talking about them separately so you can see what information you need to gather and put in place before you set your goals. This is preparation for you to help set your goal. Okay, look and think about the roles that you currently have in your life. Identify the roles that you have right now in your life. What do you currently have on your schedule? And what roles do you currently have that require your time? That's so huge. Whether you're a mother, whether you're a caregiver, what if you're a coach or you do some volunteer work on the side, whatever that is, identify those roles that you currently have and see what time do those roles require. This is so important because as you're going forward trying to pursue your goal, that time is such an element of importance because you don't want to try to pursue something that right now you may not have time for. If you see that you don't have time for a goal that you believe is important, that lets you know I need to reevaluate the weight of time and commitment that I'm putting in my life. So that might be a time for you to make some readjustments. So I highly recommend that. And balance is key. Just want you to know we're striving towards balance. Balance is key, and you're going to hear me say this several times. Balance is key. Balance leads to abundance. Say that to yourself. Balance leads to abundance. So once you are establishing your plans for 2021, make sure you are not top heavy. That means that you're not focusing more on work and something else is neglected. We need to make sure that we are living a balanced life. Your balance leads to abundance. Continue to say that to yourself over and over, and that'll help you stay focused. That'll help you keep in line with what you are trying to accomplish for 2021. So I wanted to continue on. If you have not already, as I said, some of you have a planner or have an organizer, and it may be electronic. If you have a tangible planner, wherever that is, you want to plan and organize your day, your week, and your month, your quarter around this concept, your roles that you play, because you want to make sure, and we'll talk a little bit about this a little later, probably next time, because I know I'm going to close shortly. But make sure you're organizing your time around the roles that you play. Remember, balance leads to abundance. You don't want anything to be neglected as you are pursuing your goals, because then that means you'll have to stop, put out a fire, and then get back started. So what better way to just try to, as best as possible, start incorporating balance in your life, so then you won't have as many fires that you'll need to put out. So let's just review quickly before I close. I'm going to share one more target that's key in your gathering process, and then we'll pick up again next time at talking about support systems and barriers. Okay, so review what we've talked about today. If you do not have the materials, make sure you have materials that you need to start your planning. You have your sticky notes, you have your tabs. If you want to use your computer or PC, make sure that you create a folder where you can start incorporating your notes or the important elements that you know that you're going to use to help develop your goals for 2021. Make sure you have a notebook. Make sure you have a binder so you can be able to start developing your year in your binder for those of you who need something tangible. As I said before, I have multiple methods, but I do have a binder that I visually look at daily. Your binder will help you see how you need to structure your planning in your planner. Your binder or the folder that you develop that has your ideas and has your action steps. That will be the tool that you'll use to help you decide how I need to plan and schedule your day, your week, your month, your year. So, secondly, we talk about creating your personal vision and mission statement. If you do not have that already, please take time out. And it doesn't have to be long, but it is essential because your personal vision and mission statement is what is going to be the center of everything you pursue in 2021 and beyond. So take time to invest in yourself. Create your personal vision and mission statement that talks about what you believe is important and meaningful and relevant for you, what your purpose is, what your passion is, what you believe is true and purposeful. That's what your vision and mission statement is. It goes a little deeper than just developing a checklist and saying, oh, I carried all these things out, I did my mission. Your mission statement should be so concrete that even after you carry out your action steps in 2021, you are closer to your purpose than you ever have been before. So that's the goal. So we have to change our outcome. We're not trying to say, oh, let's just finish this checklist. You're moving. You're wanting to plan to move towards the purpose that you believe you have for your life. When you strive towards purpose, that's the difference. That's the motivator. When it's meaningful and relevant for you, that's when you know, wow, even in those days when you may wanted to share that with you. Then the third thing, these are the things that I want you to be thinking about and reflecting and writing on. So if you don't have your personal vision and mission statement, please take the time to do that before we join next time, which will probably be within a week. So you have about a week to get some things established. If you need more help and support in that, please feel free to reach out to me. Okay, and the next thing is the roles. Identify those roles that you play right now that are currently in your life and how much time you use in those roles that you play. Okay, because that's going to be important because that's part of the organization piece that you'll have as you'll try to figure out how much time you have right now and how much time you're actually going to need to complete your goals in 2021. So the last thing I wanted to talk about today, and we're going to close, I wanted to close out are your ideas. Take time out to reflect on some of the ideas. I know all of us come up with amazing ideas, things that we might think are incredible. Ask yourself, what can you see yourself doing? Now remember, as you have established and developed this personal vision statement, now you saying you want to go, venture the world in 120 days, that sounds great. But make sure if that's something that you're wanting and you're striving towards doing, that it connects with your personal and vision and your mission statement. Make sure that it connects. That's why it's so important to have that, because you're going to hear me continue to say, what is your personal vision and mission? That's what's going to be the center of how you accomplish your goals in 2021. So have a place, and this is a working list. So those of you who have your, if you're deciding that you want to do it on a computer and create a file, make sure you create a document that's a working document, because you'll see as you go on through 2021, you may have other ideas that you think might be essential. Even though you may not carry them out this year, you can begin to think about your life in the future and to plan for that next year for that idea. So keep that working list of your ideas. So wanted to let you know what your idea list needs to look like, because this is important, because the ideas that you have, you're going to choose those ideas and create your goal from your idea list. Okay, so we'll talk about that next time, along with some of the barriers and your support systems and your self-care for the gathering process. But that's what's so important for this idea list. That's why I wanted to stop here, because I think I'm doing enough tasks to work on before we meet next time. So here's what I believe you should consider, as if you don't already have your list already. Those of you who have a spiral or have a notebook or composition notebook, you can put your list in there, your ideas. Those of you who have a journal, you can also put them in your journal if you like. As I said, you know the system that works best for you. I just wanted to help motivate you to use any of those tools to help you get started with your planning and gathering for 2021. Okay, so I wanted to share these with you. So be thinking about this as you're creating your idea list. What can you see yourself doing? Are there any areas in my life where I would like to improve? Training, personal, going back to school, any of those areas. Okay, I'm talking about your idea list, because remember, your goals don't always have to be going back to school. They can also be in the areas of personal development. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about the goals that you would like to set in place for 2021. They can also stem with your personal development too, which is very important. We all want to be healthy. We want to stay healthy. So please don't bypass personal development. Okay? And then lastly, what qualities or characteristics do you believe you currently have? So that means, what do you like doing? Do you like to write? Do you like to cook? Do you like to design things? Are you crafty? What are those things that you really currently believe that qualities? People tell you all the time, oh gosh, I always see you writing. Have you thought about writing a book? Or gosh, you're so good at making baskets. Oh my gosh, have you ever thought about, creating a business? Things like that. So think about those things that you currently like to do. And see how, if you like, you can make a goal out of that if you haven't thought about that before. If you like coordinating, if you're a planner yourself, oh my gosh, maybe I can be an event planner. Those are what I want you to think about and take in consideration as you are doing your idea list. Know that there is nothing impossible. Your idea can turn into a goal, which you can make action steps, and you can see that idea come to pass. I'm telling you, it's not impossible. And we want to walk alongside you to support you in this process. So please Please, if you believe that anything that we shared today was beneficial, please share this with a friend. Share this with someone that you know. Say, oh, ABC Educational Services, they're starting this series on your planning strategies. And as I said, that there's always something, if you already have this in place, just areas where you can review or evaluate and say, oh, okay, I'm on the right track. Which there's nothing wrong with that. We're always learning and growing and developing. So I wanted to close here because I said I know I've given you more than enough to work on and to think about. So I want to give you this time to you. So I will be joining again next time. And the next time that we meet, we'll talk about our barriers to think about as you're doing your gathering process. Talk about barriers that you might have or see. Can think about those. Now for you, those of you who are overachievers, and I'm saying them, you can already start working on them now. What kind of support or support systems do you believe that you might need to carry out your goals that you're thinking or considering? And how am I going to create a self-care plan for myself as I'm pursuing my goals? It's so important. We cannot bypass ourselves because without us, it's not going to happen. So we need to make sure that we incorporate time for that self-care and that emotional health element is so important. And we'll talk a little bit more about that next time. And then we'll actually go ahead and get started with developing our goal. So I'm so glad. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so glad that you did. I hope it was helpful. And I hope it was encouraging for you to know that you have support you didn't even realize you had to help you be able to reach that goal, that dream in 2021. It's not impossible. Remember, you matter. Your voice matters. The world is anxiously awaiting for you to accomplish that dream, that goal, that task. It is not impossible. Watch as you work. Things will attract itself to you. You'll have more support than you'll ever imagine. And watch your goals happen here in 2021. And I look forward to talking to you soon. As I said, if you need any additional help or support, please feel free to reach out to me again before we meet next time. Have a wonderful day.